course, you say $10. You buy two, it's $20. Two for free, so it's all four. You $5 a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can always check out the
Whatever you say, yes. And thank you.
Now, where'd she go?
You know how to play Gothic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what make it
And it's also...
Welcome everybody to the Candle Enthusiast. I am your host, Shane Carlson, and yes, I am back at the Yankee Candle Village in South Deerfield, Massachusetts. This is the flagship store, and it's not just any day. Today is August 27th, which is the weekend of Yankee's annual Halloween launch party, meaning all of the candles, the new fragrances, the returning fragrances, the accessories, all the merchandise is put on the shelves. Now, this is going to be celebrated nationwide. You go to any of your local Yankee Candle stores, if you have one near you, you will find all of the products available. But here at the Yankee Candle Village, this place was built in 1983, and it truly is a village. It's in a massive, massive facility, and every year they decorate for the season. Now, I will show you a little bit more of this room in a little bit, and of course, I will be posting my edited video of this entire weekend in the coming week. But in here, the Yankee Candle staff truly outdid themselves once again. The theme this year is called Scarecrow Farm. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's right. That really is right down my alley. You know, there's corn stalks everywhere. There's the lightning bolts. You know, these massive jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin-headed, not jack-o'-lantern, scarecrows that are adorning all of the walls. So, really fun. But what I want to do for this live, this is the 7th year that I've been here documenting my experience for this event. I want to go through all of the products that you're going to see at your local Yankee Candle. Candles, accessories, so on and so forth. So I got 2 big shopping carts full, and I brought them to the cafe area here in the Yankee Candle Village. And we're going to sit down, and one by one, we're going to take an up-close look of all of the different items that are going to be offered this year for Yankee Candle. So it's at this time I'm going to welcome you to join me. That is, if you wish to do so. You will? Well then, let's do this. I'm liking this spot. I'm liking this spot right here. Good lighting. Nice ambiance. Let me fix the framing for us. Whoa, whoa. Hold on now. And I want to say hello to everyone who has joined in the live video thus far. And it's going to be hard for me to address all of your questions and comments, but I'm going to do the best I can. But keep in mind, I have two shopping carts of things to share with you today. So let's jump right into it. So when I walked in yesterday and I was looking around, there's a bunch of merchandise that they were putting on the shelves, preparing for today. Today is the event. But they didn't have, obviously, the majority of the things. But when I, even the stuff that they had on the shelves yesterday, I was just so thoroughly impressed. You know, it's, every year I feel like Yankee Candle does a good job. Great job a lot of the times, good job on some other years. But this year, I think there's a little bit something for everybody. Different aesthetics. A little bit more haunting, a little bit more fun and spooky. And when I walked in this morning, I saw the entirety of everything they had on the shelves. So let's start off with a big piece. I'm going to try not to break anything. I won't lie, I have a history of breaking things when I do these sorts of hauls. Now look at this. If this looks big on screen, you're probably underestimating how big it really is. I have a massive head, and this thing is actually, looks like it's a larger cranium than mine. It is produced not by a Yankee Candle, but I love it so much that I had to share with you. So I don't think you'll be able to find this in your local Yankee Candle, but maybe if you can swing by the village here or give them a call, they can at least maybe ship one to you, or you could just look up this company. It's called Certified International, copyright Janelle Penner, Penner. Candy dish, candle holder, very cool. I like it. I like it. I wish I could talk about all these things for ages, but we really do need to move fast. So anybody who might be tuning in, just let me know. Have you done your shopping? Have you done your Yankee Candle shopping online? Have you gone into your local Yankee Candle? Are you planning on waiting a little bit? Are you going later today? So an actual Witch's Brew accessory this year. You know, at first, I wasn't sure if, you know, kind of like this, if this was made by a different company, but just sold here at the village. And it might be, but it has, you know, a Yankee Candle sticker on it. So I really can't answer if you'll be able to find this at your local Yankee Candle. But this Witch's Cauldron, beautiful. This aesthetic is very similar, very reminiscent to the decorations I had growing up as a child for Halloween, especially the cauldron and the bubbles and the. I really like it. Every year I'm saying I hope Yankee Candle will put out accessories specifically for the Witch's Brew fragrance. And this may not be officially Yankee Candle, but at least here at the village, they do have an accessory for it this year. This guy's going to retail for $20. I mean, that's not bad. That's actually pretty decent. This guy here, $38. Heavier price, but definitely I think the shock value of its size, totally worth it. All right. What do we got? All right. So, from my understanding, the product accessory line this year is once again called Phantasmagoria. This is a name that was also the theme last year, and the products actually do look very similar to the accessories from last year, only they're all brand new pieces. At least I'm pretty confident of that. It's the skeletal visuals with the roses and kind of also a Gothic sensibility. This right here is a tea light holder with a removable lantern, right? It goes right on the hook of the finger. And yeah, I like it, especially if you have other skeletal accessories. I'm not big on tea lights, but this, I have to say, is something I would be tempted to buy. And this is going to retail for $25. And it looks like we do have a super chat, so I do want to mention and give a huge shout out. If I can't do it in this moment, I will figure that out. But huge thank you for the super chats. Not at all necessary, but it's always very much appreciated. And of course, it all goes back into videos like this. Being able to travel, put money or gas, I should say, into the vehicle, get to fun new exciting places and familiar places that we all love visiting. All right, look at this. You know, I have to say, I've been filming all day. I've been filming for my edited video. So I've taken a look at all these pieces, but I haven't really had a chance to sit down and analyze. This is a 3 tea light holder. Again, from that, you know, very much in the style of the skeleton hand, but we have the bride and groom and big diamond in the groom's hand, or maybe he's just proposing. Is he proposing to a woman in a wedding dress? How does this work? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe this is some ceremony of the dead that I am not familiar with. If they're getting married, why is he proposing? But I like it. I really like it. Look at, you know, it's kind of romantic, but look at the face. Like it, you know, these, he's kind of typical. But that is a very, very grim face. And it adds a haunting factor to this piece. I like it a lot. I love the sculptural effect here. You know, very lifelike. It looks high quality to me. Again, for tea lights, not a big tea light holder, or tea light burner, I should say. You know, maybe I should start thinking differently. I'm coming. Tea lights. All right. I'm really soaking this all in with you guys. I'm seeing this really up close for the first time with you folks. So once again, we have the couple here, top hatted, floral crown. They are playing poker. You know, emerging from their grave. Yeah, see, okay, I thought that was a chair, but she's coming out of like a kind of a makeshift wooden cross grave. He's got the stone grave here. But yeah, they've awakened. They've rised out of the soil for the evening to reunite with one another and play a game of poker and enjoy a couple of blood martinis. We also have the 3 tea lights to put into the space. This is a nice substantial piece. Put these side by side. I guess, you know, this is not that much smaller, but these are, the figures here are, you know, considerably larger. 25 for this here. I'm sure all of these have names, but they're abbreviated on the labels. Here's a votive holder. Check this out. Now I feel like these have to come in a set or a pair, right? Maybe they don't have to, but I think it would be nice to bookend these on your mantle. You have the skeletal hand with some vegetation from the rose that is being clasped, and in the center, your votive. What do you think? What do you think? I like it. It's kind of minimalistic. $18. $18 for this piece here. All right. And then, yes, another option for a floral. I guess if you're not into the red floral, this standing base with the skeletal hand holding this long-stemmed black rose, and this one's really pretty. I have to say, like, this is good, but I'm a little bit more, I like the black. I like the black, I enjoy that much more. And This has a little bit more height to it. Oh, and you know, I truly am discovering this out together. It's a taper holder. I didn't even see that. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, this is nice piece, but is it really an accessory? It is. So this is a taper holder, and that's actually kind of really cool, especially if you have one of those tapers that drip blood. Okay, we got two more pieces from this collection, it looks like here. Unless a piece has sold out, which is totally possible. I was able to get into the village about a half hour before they officially opened the doors today. That was huge. The folks from Yankee Candle Village, they reached out and they're like, you know, if you want to come in and have a chance to photograph all of the items for my edited video, if I wanted to come in before they actually opened the doors, they said they'd be happy to do that. So I was floored. I got here early, I was caffeinated, I came in and I had a good half hour to myself to really soak in all of the products before the crowds came in, because there was actually a very big line today, probably the biggest I've seen, and a lot of people just coming in, grab. The Yankee Candle staff is definitely being put to the test today as far as keeping things stocked on the shelves. So another skeletal hand with a bottle of poison dumping into this rocks glass. And yeah, so we got a votive holder. Honestly, you know, I think it, you know, even if you didn't have a votive in here, this would still make a nice piece. So really consistent collection. What I should say about these pieces is that they do all look like they belong together. So again, you can probably, you know, bookend these if you want to get a set of two, or if you've got like the entire collection or several pieces, it will look cohesive. I think that's a massive plus. There is one more piece from this collection, and I saved it for the last because I really like it. I really like it. As much as I love the figurines, the hands, you know, there's nothing that screams Halloween more than a fun skull. I mean, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. And this, you know, this crown of roses, big golden loop earrings, and yeah, you know, you pop your candle in here. This goes without saying, but you know, I'll just tell you anyway, just in case we don't know. Candle goes in here, you get that flame going, right? And that light's gonna shoot out from the eyes and from the nose. And this base is actually, you know, the diameter here, actually wide enough where you probably could fit, don't tell Yankee I said this, but probably fit other candles from other companies in here, if you chose to do so. So the Phantasmagoria collection, very cool. You know, if you're, you know, it's, we had it last year, so it might not look super new and super unique, but the pieces are different, at least, from the pieces last year. You know, these are certainly not like recycled pieces. And out of all of these, if you want to know, yeah, I think I'd go home with this skull, which is going to retail for $30. Let's keep going. All right, so I'm gonna empty off this table a little bit. It might just take me a second. It's a good time to shoot me any questions, but you know what? I don't see the questions showing. Let me see if I can fix that. There you guys are. Okay, so let me go back just a little bit. Eric Lodge with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I had the comments deactivated, so I couldn't see you guys. So if I missed your comment and you wanted to say something again, please feel free to send that message again. And then we have Boner Jams. I remember you were here last year. And what do we say? $9.99 super chat. Good afternoon, everyone. Great way of kicking off the Halloween season at the Yankee Candle flagship with the family and talking with Shane. Have a great weekend, everybody. I wonder if that means we have bumped into each other today. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names, and these avatars of you folks are quite small. Again, I see all the very kind words now. Thank you all very much. While I'm here talking, let's hit that thumbs up button, maybe? Why not, right? It might help. It might. I can't say for sure with how the way YouTube works these days, but it might help. All right. Sophia. Who is Sophia? Do we all know Sophia? So, in the late 90s, there was a black cat that appeared on several Halloween fragrances from Yankee Candle. And from my knowledge, this cat never really had a name, nor did it look consistent all the time. But I think the candle that, if you've been buying Yankee Candles for 10 plus years, the candle that everyone will remember with the black cat was Happy Halloween. This was a Yankee Candle treasure, meaning it was a Halloween candle, but many Yankee Candles would actually sell it all year round, unlike, Witch's Brew and Candy Corn. So this cat, over the past several years, Sophia, the black cat, has become kind of the mascot for Yankee Candle Halloween. And we see fun accessories from her every year, and this year is no exception. We got at least two pieces that I have seen, and I'd like to share them with you. All right, so we have Sophia in this quite charming pink magenta dress on top of her jack-o'-lantern with this martini glass. Now, it's not a real martini glass. This is going to hold a tea light, but she's got her cocktail shaker in hand. She's given it a little bit of the shake, right? Definitely the first time I'm getting a good look at this. I'm liking the style. Nice, more of a comic style. We've seen Sophia being represented in kind of a sleek, luxurious looking accessories. We see more of a scary side of Sophia, but I'm also liking this very playful Disney-esque style of Sophia. $25. But if you, she is wearing her witch's cap. But if you want something a little bit more like Mickey Mouse in Fantasia, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, we have that purple hat, the spell book, that beautiful purple cape. I'm liking the colors here. It feels very like Hocus Pocus to me. What does it say there? It says Witch's Brew. I love it. With a votive holder right there, which will also certainly hold a tea light as well. What do we think? Two choices for Sophia this year. Could be more, but they're not here or currently in stock at the village. Let's keep this going. Let's keep it going. We're doing good though. I have to say we are doing good. Just a little bit overwhelming. I try to keep these live streams to about an hour every year, and I always run over. And but I think we're gonna be in good shape. We're only at 25 minutes so far. So let's start getting into more of like candle vessel accessories. I'm gonna move this cart down here. All right. So I have not seen this particular piece in any other accessory other than this shade. And I'm starting to think, wait a minute, is this from last year? Was this a part of last year's accessories? So maybe these were like left over from last year? I honestly can't remember. I feel like I have seen these silhouettes before. You know, we have the kind of the Ezra Disney haunted mansion ghost looking creature here. It's Frankenstein, the witch, the ghost, the cat, the owl, the spider, the jack-o'-lanterns. I love these. You know, back in 2013 was really the first time Yankee Candle introduced the 360-degree label, and then that kind of spawned the 360-degree accessories. So this way, if you have something like this, you know, this is a shade, so just in case you don't know, you put this on top of your Yankee Candle, helps contain the heat, but also you get the beautiful illumination from within here. But if you put this in the center of your table, and as you walk around the table, you get this like little narrative of Halloween at night. It's a 360-degree experience. It's pretty straightforward, that concept, but really before 2013, I don't remember any candle companies doing this. And it's one of my favorite things to see Yankee Candle do time and time again. So again, I'm not sure if this is from last year, but one thing was for sure, they only had this, the shade, nothing else with this design on the floor today. And with that said, I believe they've only had this piece, this is going to be very hard to photograph, in the Hurricane, a full-size candle holder. But let me see if I can get a good few images of this. So yes, highly reflective inside with, you know, this really nice, almost looks like, it has the effect of like blood spatter, but only it's like black speckles inside, which is always going to be a great thing if you have a candle inside, because yeah, you're going to essentially be amplifying the illumination, right? All that reflective surface is going to project those lights upwards and outwards. Down here we have this cobalt blue tinted glass with the same speckling, with an ombre effect that goes back up to the pure reflective, looks like chrome here, and with these blinged out backs. This is very hard to photograph with the spotlight on me right now, but I guess that does illustrate how reflective this piece is. So, ooh, that's kind of nice. If I pull it back, you see that? It's really nice. That's really nice. This is a great option for those who don't really want the cartoony, the fun cartoony pieces. I mean, I like both, but this was definitely something that caught my eye this morning. $25 for that large tumbler. Now, another piece from last year, and I believe they've actually brought this back. This is not a leftover, because I think it sold out last year at most retail stores and the website. This comes in the dish, the votive holder, the shade, and the large hurricane. And yes, I bought one, and it instantly became one of my favorite Yankee Candle, not accessories, but hurricane. I mean, this is gorgeous. I wish I had a light right now to put inside here if you've never seen it. But we have this midnight blue to this hazy blue down to the horizon here, which is this beautiful shade of orange, and these jack-o'-lantern eyes. But of course, at the very front and center, we have more of these trick-or-treaters. The ghost, the little devil, demon, girl, the witch, another witch. Let's keep spinning it around. We made her, oh, okay, it's looped twice. So we have two sets of essentially that image right there. But it is gorgeous. I love this piece. It has that nice matte, can you see that? Matte finish, or like kind of frosted as well on the inside. Take it from me, this looks great. If you don't own this, it looks great with the candle lit up inside. If you really want to maximize it, you don't even have to put a candle inside. You just buy like a string of those like LED lights, just stuff them in there, and you really get the full effect. The whole thing lights up. And if you want to get extra fancy, something I've been doing on Amazon, you can buy these very small but good quality turntables. You know, like if you're doing photography and you're taking pictures or video of jewelry or something like that, these turntables that turn very slowly. And that's something that you can totally do with this. Put this on a turntable and just let that spin while having a battery operated string of LED lights from inside. What is this called? Halloween Scene 5. I think 5 might be in reference to the hurricane. But something that's new for this year. Something that brings the theme of this party to life. Again, it was called the Scarecrow Farm. I love this. I truly love this piece. Looking at your comments right now, I don't know why your comments keep disappearing from my screen. I'm just wondering how much I even have to say. I mean, are we all on the same page here? Are we all on the same page? Yeah. Yeah. So let me first address the texture. We also have that matte frosted texture on the glass, like this blue and this orange. But all of the silhouettes, all of the black areas on this tumbler are highly reflective. They're very glossy, and it's a great contrast. It just makes the silhouettes, especially that scarecrow, really, really jump out. It's very similar in color. This seems to be a little bit more saturated in its color, a little bit more, I think, more of a vivid blue. But yeah, to me, if there's a winner, or maybe not a winner, but if there's one thing and one thing only I had to go home with, there's no way I could not go home with this. This is great. And I see Heather saying, I picked this up at an outlet today for $12. I think I saw somebody else, unless it was you, Heather, I think I saw somebody else post something on the Candle Enthusiast Facebook group, swing on over, that they got 2 of these for $27 at an outlet. So that's a great deal, but at $25, I think that's still a steal. The only question for me is, do I get 2? One to use and one to kind of put off on my shelf. Why? I don't know. I'm a collector like that. It's at the outlet, says Heather. And let me just read some of these right here. Thank you for going live. Let's let my thumb in front of the camera. Thank you for going live. Love seeing what they have for Halloween. Thank you very much. Yep, that's got the classic Yankee quality. Wow, I didn't see what that was in reference to. Yankee Candle. I love that Yankee Candle has Afterpay. That is cool. It's also kind of dangerous. Yeah, so this way you can finance your candles now. Keep those comments coming, guys. I just apologize if I can't get to everyone. It's going to be very hard for me to. So really keep my eye. I'm doing this on a phone. The comments are like this big. All right, so let's talk about small formats, because this has presented an issue in the past several years. And, you know, it might present some issues for some folks, but this year, we don't have a brand new fragrance, a Halloween fragrance for Halloween this year with Yankee Candle, which was one of the reasons why I didn't do a spoiler video this year. I just didn't feel like a spoiler. What I mean by spoiler video is usually sometime during the summer, like after 4th of July, I'll do a spoiler video. I do like research. I call Yankee Candle outlets. I call, you know, different folks who work for the company, and I just do my own research. Dig the internet for leaked photographs, and I try to figure out what is coming out for the upcoming season. And that's only because I like putting together spoiler videos for those who like spoilers. But I didn't do one this year because there was no brand new fragrances. However, I'm very, very happy with the selection that they did decide to bring back. So we're going to be talking about those. But I said I was going to talk about the small formats. In previous years, we didn't always see this. We have seen this before, but the Witch's Brew seems to be the only votive that from all the Halloween fragrances that are available, and that's really helpful. I mean, I think this is especially helpful to put these away for all year long, like non-Halloween season, because you know, I don't like to really light up my Witch's Brew candles until Halloween, but maybe I just want to burn one for, you know, a few hours. And that's why I just kind of stuff a bunch of these in a box, and I pull them out on, you know, on a spooky summer night. Why not? Small formats, tea lights. We have Witch's Brew, and last year's spooky Cider, which I will be talking more about this, but I'm a big fan here. Big fan. I really don't have many qualms on this live to tell you about. I'm very pleased through and through with this year's Halloween selection, including the fragrances that they re-released. And this melt, if you're, you know, all about the melt cups, I think you should get into melt cups. I really do. I'm not just saying that. You know, a good friend of mine has really been getting me into burning, you know, like, or melting clamshells. And I'm thinking, you know, maybe I should be doing this more, you know, instead of committing to 4 or 5 hours of burning a candle. But we have a Witch's Brew in the milk cup and a spooky Cider. Now, the question I always get is, can you use these milk cups in, you know, wax warmers? Do they work? They work for me. Is there any reason why I should say they don't work? Because they do work for me, and very well. Maybe you don't get the longevity that you would get if you actually had a centerpiece made by Yankee Candle to melt these. But from my experience, if you don't have a centerpiece by Yankee Candle, pop it in your wax melt, and it should do the trick. All right, we got just a few more accessories now, and then we're going to get ready. We're going to get to the candles. What is everyone's budget? Because I am afraid about not making my budget today. That is for sure, especially having all of these items here in front of me. All right, so also something we saw last year, but it's a little different. It's updated. which is cool because you could turn it into a collection, perhaps, or if you want to do bookends, we have this. I don't know if the image does it justice, but the saturation of this orange, especially when you consider the contrast of this elevated part versus this, the dimple right here. This is like a very, very, very vibrant orange. It's, to me, it's like, I don't know, it reminds me of like the 90s. It's not that dull pumpkin color that we typically see on jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about this color, but just to give you a frame of reference, this is very orange, but look how bright that orange is. And it's not just one solid color. We do have the shadows, and I think I should also point out the finish, how reflective this is. But we have this very charming, if not dopey looking expression on the pumpkin this year. Someone, Skizzy just said, looks like a ditzy jack-o'-lantern this year. I could see that. But very happy or enthusiastic, to say the least. Now, $20. I was hoping this was going to be the item. You know how they always offer an item, you spend like $30 and for like $15 more. Skizzy's saying in a good way. Yes, in a good way. If you spend $30 on Halloween products, for an extra $15, you get to take something like this home. Unfortunately, it's not this piece. I really wish it was. But with that, the piece that is available is this right here. The candy dish. Very, very similar to previous years, but I like it because it's on the smaller side. There's only so many of this size item you can have, right? Unless you have a huge storage closet for your Halloween goodies, which I do not. This is much more of a, easily store something in this. And nice open top so you can stack things in here. But yeah, so your candy dish option this year in the Boney Bunch style, this jack-o'-lantern with spider and some cobwebs on the back. This is going to be $15 with a $30 purchase at Yankee Candle, or $25 full price. All right. How about Illumilids? Are we still using Illumilids? If you're into the signature collection, if you're buying the signature collection or all of the other the new formats that Candle's offering outside the house warmers, are you using house warmers still? I'm not so much a tumbler burner for Yankee Candle. I'm very much all about the classic house warmer jar. So I still do use house warmer or Illumilids, and I'm always in the market, especially Halloween and Christmas, to find new, unique style Illumilids. I think Yankee does a good job every year. I might be going home with all three of these, and if not all three, one for sure, and I might get several of just that one, because it's probably one of the coolest Illumilids I've ever seen, just in general, not just for Halloween. But we have the jack-o'-lantern here, nice chrome finish. We have the owl, which is always my favorite, the owl, and a skull. So very nice. It's kind of like, has that enamel pin look to it. It looks nice and bulky. It's nice and shiny. It's got some more imagery around the rim. And yeah, the more surface area here, the more metal and material that's going to be above that flame, the more that illuminate is going to do its job. It's going to help that candle retain its heat, keeping a nice equal melting of the wax, so you don't have any tunneling and things of that nature. One that's kind of similar, but a little bit more of the, comical figures. It's really the same. Outside, you're swapping the owl for Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster here. Also, I guess you have the ghost as well. But we have the skull and the jack-o'-lantern, very similar in style. So here are these two. I'm not sure which one I would pick. I might have to take both, but the best one, really, this might not be your style, but this is definitely my style. Are we ready? Look at this. I hope I can get good light on this. So right off the bat, very tasteful, elegantly Gothic is what I call it. Skulls. This isn't like One-Eyed Willie. This isn't, some comic, cartoony looking skeleton. This is, to me, like really tasty on with these roses and stems that kind of, I'll just let it speak for itself. But I mean, you can see the detailing on this. Very classy. And on top of that, just look at the difference in the finish, right? Now the camera may be reading this as like brushed copper, and it very well might be. But to me, it has a rose gold. I can't decide. Inside, at least, with the warmer lighting, to me, it looks like a rose gold finish. So if this design looks good to you, I have no doubt this is going to sell out quick. Make sure you get your hands on one of these. I definitely, this is something I will get a backup for. So 3 illuminates. Halloween in August. That's right. That's right. We're moving on to the candles, guys. We got 2. I said we had 2 more accessories, but we actually have 2 more right now. This is the 3rd year we've seen something like this. Votive, or tea light holders. We have a tray with 3 individual characters. We have a very spooky, kind of like, bedsheet ghost. Pumpkin that is very, if not almost identical to the large pumpkin here. And then we have this owl again. I like how the owl is making several appearances this year. And I also like how he's kind of leaning off to the side. Can you notice that? Very cool. So you can take these, spread these, of course, throughout your living space, or stack them together. And if you're all over the ghost, we have a larger version that I really am digging the expression there. It's very comical, very fun, playful, and this guy's gonna have a place for your tea light or votive, tea light or votive. $10, and this tray, $22.50. All right. Now, if you're like me, the Halloween launch party is really fun with the accessories and stuff, but what really gets me excited are the candles, the scents, the fragrances. And I'm going to share them with you now. Whew. And usually, some years we only have a few options or a few different things to talk about, but we have a nice selection of different fragrances this year, plus the formatting is really cool. So something that we may have seen online, I believe these were available through Macy's this year, but they are also here at the Village, and I would assume they're going to be at other Yankee Candle retails. We have 4 different scents that come in these 3-wick tumblers, aluminum lids, matte finish labels, wraparound labels as well. Okay, we do have colored wax. It's a smooth vegetable base wax here. But we also have, we'll talk about the scents, don't worry, we'll talk about the scents. Witch's Brew in this beautiful green. Green is not a color that's usually on the Witch's Brew label. So that's kind of cool. And first time Witch's Brew has ever been released in anything but one wick. So kind of cool. Three-wick Witch's Brew this year. We also have last year's spooky Spider Cider. And 2020's Mystic Moon. Again, all colored wax here. Now, I am not typically a 3-wick candle burner. I like to burn for a long time. 1 wick is usually good for me. 2 wicks, like Kringle candles, I love 2 wicks. And the new Yankee candles, 2 wicks, has been very interesting exploring the performance of these candles. I haven't been able to burn these 3 wicks yet. But yeah, I typically do like more of a subtle aroma in my living space. I don't go for the massive explosion of aroma. When you like walk in the door, you're like, whoa. Sometimes I think that's great, but for me in my home, I do like more subtlety. So I don't think the 3-wick would be for me, but I'm sure there's a lot of you out there, especially you Bath and Body Works and Homeworks candle fans. You know, you're really into your multi-wick candles, and this is a great way to experience Yankee candle in the same way. These are going to be, and it says made with essential oils, not fragrance oils. I'm just seeing that now. That is an interesting thing. Made with essential oils. So there's some essential oils, but it's not all essential oils, right? These are 18 ounces as well. All right. Let's talk about Witch's Brew. Witch's Brew. So in 2000, was it 19 or 8? It was 2018. Yankee Candle, for the first time since the 90s, released Witch's Brew in the full-size house warmer jar. And that was exciting for me. I mean, I very much enjoyed the Halloween candles coming in the medium-sized jars, but yeah, the full-size jar, that was a treat. The only thing is, since 2018, the label for Witch's Brew has not changed for the house warmer jar. But we are seeing a departure from the label that we've seen in the past several years. And we have several formats. We, like I said, have that 3-wick, but we also have some other options with the tumblers, or the tumbler, and the new jars. So, very similar in many ways, okay? We have the same artwork, 2 wicks on each one, right? Smooth vegetable-based wax, 20 ounces. And I'm just going to spin this around so we can see up close all that artwork. I kind of like it. Again, it kind of tells like a little story as you bop around the surface of the candle. I like it a lot. However, I think this is great. I think this is pretty. I really, really like these jars, though. I really do. You know, I'll always be the house warmer fan, but having the glass lid, I like. However, you see, these are like, you know, like screen printed. They're not screen printed, but it's, I thought they were for a second. It's one label that wraps around. So you don't feel like there's any seams on the images. But with this label, you kind of see the square label that gets stuck on there. Is that a problem? I don't know. also, like I said, it's not 360 degrees. You do get most of the imagery, but it's all kind of lumped together in one spot. So the question is, we're dealing with the same wax, we're dealing with 2 wicks, 2 different vessels, and 2 different types of artwork. Not types, but a layout of artwork. Which do I buy? If I'm only getting one, which did you buy? Which do you like the most? Or do you like the 3-wick more? Let me know. Truly, that would actually be very helpful because I have a lot of choices to make by the end of the day. Stephanie Hall, I want to say thank you very much for your super chat today, and always happy to see your comments. And she says she's happy that I am back. Well, yeah, I'm kind of I disappear from time to time. I get it, guys, but you know, life has been kind of crazy. Life changes, doesn't it? Life's nuts for all of us, not just me. But the end goal has always been getting to a schedule where I can keep having the candle enthusiast, right? Not just candle content, but you know, all sorts of different content. I mean, really where my heart is in video making, and I'll never give it up, ever. So I think there's some really fun projects in our near future, so I hope you tune in. And if you're not subscribed already, it's a good time to do so, because we're about to hit about 20 subscribers away, last time I checked, from hitting a milestone. We're hitting the 6-year anniversary today. Today marks the 6th-year anniversary of the Candle Enthusiast, and the first day I ever filmed for this channel. And also, simultaneously, it looks like we're going to hit 6,000 subscribers as well. So I'm very humble and very appreciative for all of your continued support. Eric Lodge is saying Aromatic Adventures too. Yes, yes, and live videos as well. I really stopped doing live videos, and I apologize for that. We will get back to those as well. All right, so back to the aluminum tumblers. We have Spooky Spider Cider. You know, I'm gonna skip smelling the Witch's Brew because, or at least giving you my breakdown, because I've done it so many times. I have a whole video on Witch's Brew. If you haven't ever checked it out, make sure you do. But I really haven't had a chance to talk about some of these others. And Spooky Spider Cider is one that I really, really enjoy. It's from last year. It was released in 2021. And it was kind of like the mystery fragrance for a while. And, you know, with cider in the name, I thought, okay, well, here we go. We're going to have an apple cider candle. But, oh, man. I mean, this is it. This is why I love Halloween candles. This is why I love autumn. This is why I love New England. This is why I love Yankee Candle. And really, if you kind of bypassed this candle last year and you didn't come home with it, or maybe you had a bad burn experience, I don't know. I didn't. But if you did, you know, do yourself a favor and give this another try, because to me it's so great. You know, you have the deep, you know, decadent, buttery, biscuity, pastry butteriness of this candle coming through, which you would not expect from the name, right? Spooky Spider Cider. It's almost salty. It's so savory. But that apple comes through, and not to me, not very much in an apple cider kind of way. It comes through much more of a spiced, baked apple, like big golden chunks of apple that have been pulled right out of the oven, taken off the heat. They're steaming, they're crackling, You sprinkle all of that wonderful baking spice on top of those. Maybe add a little bit of salt, definitely a little bit of butter. I would go on and tell you all the things that this provokes in my mind. But the one thing that is so crazy and nostalgic when I smell this candle is that it reminds me of something very nostalgic, which is McDonald's apple pie. We've all been there. We've all done it. You've had that apple pie and you break it open. It's super hot. It's fresh, and that steam comes pouring out. Although this is at room temperature, to me when I smell this, it feels warm. It feels toasty. You know, it makes my mouth water. It is one of those candles that will have the ability to do that, at least for me, make my mouth water. Now, yes, it does, I think, to me, smell like a McDonald's apple pie, but there's also some other thing. There's like some significant like pecan or walnut nuttiness to it that kind of goes into this like pumpkin or banana bread territory that just expands the complexity. I don't know if it, you know, I'm making it sound like I like this candle a lot, but let there be no mistake. This is one that I am quite fond of, and I'm happy to see it come in this very pretty vessel this year. I think just like with everybody else, it was very hard for me to adapt to new formatting by Yankee Candle, but there's no question in my mind that these work. When I see these aesthetically, they get me into the spirit, so I commend Yankee Candle for that. Let's move on. So, see if I'm doing my math correct. 2020, 2019? Am I getting that right? 2019? We saw the introduction of two candles. A candle by the name of Trick or Treat, not the one from years prior, but it was just a short-lived Yankee Candle, pumpkin spice, chai spice kind of take on a pumpkin candle. But it also came out with this candle right here, Haunted Hayride. Now, I've talked a lot about this candle today with folks here at the Village. You know, folks who watch the Candle Enthusiast channel, folks that I know who work here at the Yankee Candle Village. And, you know, this candle seems to keep coming up. I'm just going to show you the label as I'm talking about it. But it seems like I am not the only one saying this. When this candle first came out, I think I liked it. I did. I liked the way it smelled. I thought it smelled pretty. I bought it. I bought several of them. But after like a year and a half, maybe like, I don't know, like after time just went by, I suddenly became more attracted to the aroma profile. And I seem to relate it to a little bit more of a spooky profile. You know, I think the problem that I had with it when it first came out is I'm like, it doesn't necessarily smell like Halloween. It smells nice, but it doesn't necessarily smell like Halloween. But as I've spent time with this candle, as I burned this candle, created a relationship with this candle, if you want to call it that, I've become very fond of it. So I think my point in saying that is there are certain candles. Haunted Hollow was another one. Haunted Hollow was a candle that so many people despised when it first came out, or I guess the only year it came out, 2017. And it never came back after because it seemed like it had such a negative reaction. But now, it's at least from what I've, you know, discovered, all of the polls I've had with candle fans, Haunted Hollow is like the #1 candle people want to see come back, at least as far as Halloween candles from Yankee. So I'm glad that they haven't, you know, given this candle, this fragrance, a couple of years and decided to put it in the back burner. They've been persistent because I'm actually looking forward to burning it. It's not hay. It's not like Hayride, you know, like haunted attraction. It's not dead leaves, foliage, bark, you know, the smell of being in the forest. But it does have this sophisticated, more of a sophisticated vegetation aroma to it. Something I get on it is like lavender and something super bright. It could be lime, maybe it's bergamot. I really can't say for sure, but it has a muskiness. It's not necessarily masculine or feminine, but it does have a body fragrance quality to it. It to me, this is a non-obtrusive, non-in-your-face, sophisticated style Yankee Candle fragrance. Do you follow me here? Like, this isn't just, you know, plums and candy corn. You know, there's some sophistication in the mixology of this fragrance, and I think to truly experience it, you really have to pick it up and smell it for yourself. Again, it has like blackberry, bramble, boysenberry, kind of like a syrupy fruitiness, a little bit of that citrus that I get, and what was the other thing I was saying? That lavender, and there's this very unique briny sourness to this that totally adds. It might sound weird, but it totally adds this spookiness. And when you smell it, at least when I'm smelling it now, I am thinking Halloween, or at least spooky candle. So I'm very happy that they've returned that candle for this year. Now, 2 years ago, so the second year this has been back. But once again, we're talking about new jar, new label. We have Mystic Moon. This was a fun candle for me to find when it came out. I had to drive all over the place before it was officially released, and I ended up finding a couple of mispours at an outlet in Connecticut, and I picked them both. I picked like 6 of them up, maybe more, and I made a video where I laid them all out and I tried to smell them all. They all smelled a little bit different because they were mispours. But I was trying to figure out what this candle would smell like, and then when it was officially released, I was like, wow, like it really was unique. It has this dark autumn night, you know. It feels like it's again got a little bit of that sophistication. If you want to think of something like Crisp Fall Night, not from Bath & Body Works, Crisp Fall Night from Yankee Candle, there's some sophistication there. That's a big, powerful candle. That's not like Mystic Moon, but there's not just literal smells. There's some cologne influences. There in this Mystic Moon, you know, patchouli. I always get like this black licorice. I can't help it. I smell like a sweet black licorice. Apple, like a nice, ripe, red-skinned apple. Oh, wow. And if anything, this year, the apple is so much more prominent. But this is just one of those great examples where Yankee Candle has taken something that feels like an indoor candle. Warm and cozy, elegant. You know, you kind of smell this and you're like, where's that cashmere blanket? Where's that cotton blanket? Let's go sit by the fireplace and drink a little bit of tea or mulled apple cider. But there are outdoor influences to this candle. So you're bridging the outdoor aromas with the indoor aromas. And that is so much fun, especially when we're talking about Halloween candles. You know, this can bring you outside in the comfort of your own home. You can be sitting out in Linus's pumpkin patch on Halloween night from the comfort of your couch while burning Mystic Moon. This probably won't be for everybody. It does have, I think some more, has a little bit more spiciness to it. And not necessarily floral, but I think people might smell it and feel like it is more of a floral side. Maybe that's because it's a bit musky. You know, perhaps there's like some amber in here as well. But definitely something worth going to your Yankee Candle if you haven't smelled it already and giving it a shot. And it does to me, at least in this vessel, it seems to be showing itself a little bit differently. It's a little bit more fruity from that apple, which I'm finding very pleasant. So Yankee Candles, Mystic Moon. All right, coming to the end here, guys. You know, you'd think I would have saved something grand for the end, and I kind of did, and I'll tell you why. One candle that I don't believe received nearly as much credit as it should have was a candle that came out with Mystic Moon. It was 2 years ago, and that was called Pumpkin Patch. Or excuse me, let me start that over. It was called Jack-o'-lantern, but in Europe it was released as Pumpkin Patch, and had a very pleasant label. The label was very pretty. I remember the news of that candle leaked out like 8 months before it actually came out, so it was so weird to see images of this candle like months and months and months before it actually came out. But then eventually I came across fragrance notes, you know, with a little bit of research. I found the fragrance notes long before the candle came out, and I read them. And I made a whole video on this if you want to check it out. And I was just shocked. I was really impressed by just the notes. I mean, there were a lot of components to this candle. And yeah, that's not always a good thing, right? You know, you don't want like a chaotic mess when you're doing mixology. But it left me anticipating it. And the day I smelled it for the first time, it did not disappoint. Now, the reason why I'm making a big deal out of this is because I don't feel like a lot of people have talked about this candle. A lot of people did not enjoy this candle. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes, is it... does it fall into the category of yet another pumpkin spice forward candle? Yes. But I think the fun in this candle is that it is unique by introducing other nuances that really expand the environmental experience. It gives you that sense of place. You can close your eyes and be whisked away. Talk about sitting out in the pumpkin patch with lions. Well, this is a candle that can do it. It has just about every spice we can list, right? It's, I mean, at least all of the baking spices that we would put into a pumpkin pie or an apple pie. You have cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, allspice, probably cardamom, if I remember correctly. Ginger is going to be in here, and if I'm not mistaken, it also had a little bit of a molasses thing. So like, I think of like a gingerbread, savory, buttery cookie, maybe even a little salty. But one of the fragrance notes on this candle, on Yankee's official notes, was carrot, and I'm like, boom. And you're probably thinking, why is that cool? Maybe that sounds gross to you. Well, my biggest problem with pumpkin spice themed candles, my biggest qualm is it's too much pumpkin spice and too little pumpkin, right? When someone says pumpkin spice flavored latte, right, that doesn't mean there's anything pumpkin in it. That means it's got the mixture of proprietary blends of the baking spices that you put into pumpkin puree to make that pumpkin pie. What some of these pumpkin candles I think are missing is that wonderful smell of that fresh, cut open, ripped open, smashed open, ripped apart gourd. Good old-fashioned jack-o'-lantern. And that carrot note really helped create, the associations in the mind. That carrot kind of gets translated, at least in my mind, as this raw, fresh gourd. And in a very outdoorsy kind of way, almost as if it's still out there in the pumpkin patch. I get all of those spices, and yet it doesn't give me a headache. I'm very sensitive when it comes to spices. A lot of people don't know that about me. I'm very sensitive to spices. But this is not too much for me, at least. And what's great is I think it's balanced out with the savory, the buttery, the salty. So it's not just pure ground spice. We are when we smell this, we do get that coffee shop experience. You know, maybe it's a little bit creamy too. So imagine walking to that cafe, that even Starbucks during the autumn season, and smelling that steamed, vaporized milk in the air, and all of those wonderful spices that are in the baked goods that are being put into espresso-based beverages. It is good enough to eat. Yet, just like that Mystic Moon, they're introducing these outdoor aromas. Not necessarily, I'm not necessarily being literal here, but you know, I smell this and I think of like eggcorn, and just like very organic autumn woodsy kind of smell. Perhaps a little bit of that hay, that dried out vegetation, the hay bale, or even the hayride, that haunted attraction that we were talking about before. And woody notes. Whoa. And not just, not like a sandalwood, something, just, a basic, exotic, piece of furniture smell. Like, this kind of smells like an old apple crate, an apple crate that you would see somewhere on a farm that's just been smashed, or an old wagon, you know what I mean? It has this old wooden smell. This is a really great Halloween candle, but I think above and beyond that, it's actually even a better all-around autumn candle. I would definitely classify this as an phase 3 autumn. For me, that's November, but I would start burning this as well as soon as midway through September, and certainly during the Halloween season. And again, that's going to be called Jack-o'-lantern. And let's just do a little turnabout here. Give you a good look at that. Very good. Folks, I want to thank you all. I really do. I realize I have been MIA from YouTube for a good long while. And I have every intention of coming back. This happens to me a lot, doesn't it? Like I was saying this before, I disappear and then I come back and it looks like I'm back for good, and then I disappear again. Well, yeah. I had a lot of big plans for 2022 for this channel, and if you were tuning into my content in the first portion of this year, I was trying to do like a weekly post, and that was something I'd never really been able to pull off before. But I was having such a great time. But life does take turns. Life has its challenges. I want everyone to know that I am doing very well. I get really kind emails and messages. Of viewers, you folks, reaching out saying, Shane, I hope you're doing okay. We haven't seen much of you. And that really is very moving. I very much appreciate that. It truly makes me feel like this whole Candle Enthusiast experience is not just me doing it alone. It makes me feel like I'm doing it with all of you guys. And that's so exciting to me. So I am doing well. I am healthy. I am happy. I am having a wonderful day. I do very much have plans for the Candle Enthusiast in the future, but in good old Candle Enthusiast fashion, I am still not sure. Like, I fly by the seat of my pants a little bit. So I will be producing content very shortly. Halloween content, autumn content, Christmas content, whether it will be candles, maybe some candles, or whether it be more travel, I still don't know. But I'm just following my heart, I'm following my intuition, I'm following my enthusiasm, and truly, I am following all of you, your kindness, because you grace every day of my life with wonderful comments. I don't know what I did to deserve the kindness that I get from folks who watch the Candle Enthusiast content, and all I can say is God bless you, really, because you really have enhanced my life quite a bit, and that is something I will always be grateful for. So, here from South Deerfield, Massachusetts, home of the Yankee Candle Village flagship store, on August 27th, the launch party for 2022 Halloween. I hope you folks had a wonderful time shopping in person or online, or if you plan on doing your shopping later, or even if you don't plan on shopping but just like to see what the offerings are on this given year. If you've tuned in and you just kind of sat back and helped celebrate this special day with me, I'd very much appreciate it. Again, this is the 6th year anniversary for the Candle Enthusiast. Literally, 6 years ago on this very day, I was sitting in this room recording the very first scene of the Candle Enthusiast, and how appropriate that I get to be back here with wonderful people. There's so many kind faces, so many kind people that I've been talking to here all day, and being able to talk to you folks just expands my gratefulness. So folks, you know what I'm going to say. You will be seeing me soon. But until then, be good. Happy Halloween. And always remember to live enthusiastically. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.